Headlines on the score. Big win for Manchester United, beating Tottenham 1-0 at lunchtime. Anthony Martial with the late goal. In the Championship, it's ended 1-1 between Sheffield Wednesday and Barnsley. Here's Jules.
Yes, because it's been another eventful week in Scotland, with Rangers manager Pedro Caixinha being sacked on Thursday. Graham Murty was in charge earlier on today when they came from behind to beat Hearts 3-1. Now, the top two are at home today. Celtic entertain Kilmarnock in front of Stephen Craigan, and second place Aberdeen take on Ross County at Pittodrie, and Emma Dodds will be there for us too.
OK, we're going to look at the really big game at the bottom of the table, the London derby. It's Crystal Palace and West Ham. We're going to start by hearing from our West Ham fan reporter. It's Baz.
So today, West Ham United visit Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Already this stage of the season is a six-pointer. They have got some great pace down their wings from Zaha and Andros Townsend, which is their threat, but if West Ham play today as they responded in the second half on Wednesday against Tottenham, I'm fully confident we will get 3 points. Robbie, what's your thoughts?
Robbie, what's your thought? Baz is a London cabbie. I wonder what it's been like being in his cab this week. Yes.
I've got to say, after they lost to Brighton 3-0,
Yeah.
you know, it was terrible, fans leaving early. But then, you know, I didn't see the game midweek when they cut that remarkable comeback against Spurs. That should give those players a huge lift now. And, you know, the owners come out, didn't they? Said he's got more time, Slaven Bilic. And I think, and that's fair. I don't like to see managers getting the sack. So it's a huge game today for both sets of players.
Yeah. Well, even after 9 games, we're talking about this game as being a relegation battle. Yeah. It's that important when you're down there. For me, Crystal Palace, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is back today.
Yeah, good. That's a good
He's done
thing, yeah.
really well for them. West Ham, you know, they'll take a little bit of momentum into today's game after the win the other night. But let's not forget, they were awful in the first 45 minutes the other night. And in the second half, they were outstanding, scored 3 goals, won the game. So
momentum's a good point, though, John.
Yeah.
Because the seriousness of how people take the now Carabao Cup, the League Cup. You've got one side, I think, went to Bristol and got beat badly.
Yeah.
To the point, you know, I've heard pictures of fans chucking.
Yeah, Suarez threw his shirt in. They chucked it back again.
Chucking shirts back, and obviously Roy Hodgson going, "Oh, I decided to change it up the players or whatever." And then you've got a second half West Ham performance where there was obviously a lot said.
And up against your big rivals.
Exactly,
well.
A lot said at half time. They've come
yeah.
out. You know, the influence of the fans and the positivity, you know, could have a big influence on that game today.
Yep, Robbie's going to keep an eye on this one. Interesting with West Ham to come, Liverpool, City, Chelsea and Arsenal in the next 7. So either this is a springboard from West Ham's point of view to better things, or if it goes wrong today with those fixtures coming up, it's a bit of a full storm, and we're having the same conversation about Slaven Bilic in a few weeks' time.
Well, yeah, I think I've defended him for a long time, but it's getting to the point where I can't defend him any longer, league-wise. I mean, it was a great result in midweek, but I looked at the front 3 that were playing against Brighton last week, Arnautovic, Hernandez and Antonio, and I thought they're bound to score against Brighton, but Brighton kept them out. So it'll be interesting now to see if he can get a result today, because it's a big, big game, as you said.
So if they lose, do you think he should go, Bilic?
Well, I don't think it's a very good job, to be honest with you, manager of West Ham.
Because should be a great job, shouldn't
well,
it?
I think the owners just undermine you every day. They come out and tweet after
But
games.
they've backed him financially, haven't they?
No, the net spend at West Ham isn't very much.
No,
if you look at the net spend...
a lot of money for Arnautovic, and they're paying him a lot of money. That's a big investment.
Well, they're all investing. I mean, Stoke City... 25 million, they're the lowest spenders. Watford have spent 53 million. Where do you want to be? Don't complain if you're not in the top 6 or 7, unless you spend.
It's a weird one, their owners, though, isn't it? Because obviously you have that side where people are, their tweets him, what should do, this or that. But the reality is, what's he got left on his contract? Another 6 months?
Yeah, he has, yeah.
So they're giving him the time, you know, and they've had plenty of opportunity to kind of nip it in the bud and go, right, as a lot of chairmen do, get out the door.
What do you mean? What do they do then? Do they let him run his contract out? Is it a case of the question is, will they extend his contract at the end of the season, or no matter what he does, they're going to get rid of him in 6 months?
I think it's all going to hinge on obviously, where they feel... If they feel that pinch in terms of them coming out of the league, they'll act on it. If they feel that Slaven Bilic can get to the end of the year, they'll stick with it.
Time to do what? Time... You said they'd given him the time. Time to do what, you mean?
No, what I'm saying is they've stuck with his contracts. He's had 3-year deal, and he looks like one of the only managers that are going to, you know, foresee his contract.
For me, just keep him up. That's your job.
But they're not
keep
thinking
them up.
that isn't realistically what the owners were thinking at the start of the season.
No, long term, they're thinking top 10, push on. You know, we're London.
Well, if you're going to do that, Mark,
a big stadium like
if you're going to do that, spend the money. Don't talk about it.
They have spent the money.
They haven't. The net spend, if you have a look at the
We're not talking about net spend. Arnautovic, big money.
Yeah, but they've sold players as well. And if you add the two up, the net spend, West Ham, for me, right, there's 7 teams can finish in the top 6. The rest are in a relegation battle.
Yeah.
Just stay away from the bottom.
15 seconds on Palace, having beaten Chelsea brilliantly, then lost at Newcastle, didn't have a shot on goal, and then the shambles at Bristol
4-1
City.
against Bristol City. What can I say about Crystal Palace? Roy Hodgson, massive game for him today. I agree with John. Loftus-Cheek coming back. Zaha, for me, is a huge player for him. I can't wait for this game to start, Mark.
Absolutely. Now, Liverpool against Huddersfield as well. Liverpool, if it goes wrong today, for the first time ever under Klopp, could be in the lower half of the table. 1 win in 6 in the Premier League, just 2 in 10 in all competitions, which includes hammering Maribor away. Up against his best mate, David Wagner, which will be a bit odd. I mean, they really are best buddies. But listen, the time for Liverpool, suddenly you're looking at the table going, 9th Liverpool, 2 years into the Klopp reign?
Look, at home, they have been reasonably impressive, Liverpool. This is that type of game that people might look at and go, oh, bit of a banana skin, bit of a problem, but I can't see them losing this game at all today. As good as Huddersfield were against Manchester United and the effort and you can't underestimate that stadium, by the way, and the way that those fans at Huddersfield kind of have such a positive impact on the players. I can see quite a convincing Liverpool win today, I have to say.
Your old club need it, don't they?
Well, I was at the game last week, and they're good going forward, but you can sum it up like this. The 2 goalkeepers, the back 4, Moreno, Klavan, Lovren, Matip, and the young lad, Trent Arnold-Gomez at right back, none of them players would get in any of the top 6 teams. So there's your answer.
Let's hear from the Liverpool fan reporter.
So on the way to watch Liverpool versus Huddersfield, huge game today. It's must win, even so early on in the season. I do feel like this one is must win, not just because of the points we're on, but because of the opposition. If we start dropping points at home to the likes of Huddersfield, then it's really panic station. And without Coutinho, without Mane, Lallana still out, it's not going to be easy. Especially if there's no early goal, it might sort of see some nerves in the crowd. So you know, I'm nervous, but I think we'll just about have enough. Up the Reds.
Sturridge in the team today will be quite nervy there, I reckon, don't you? But with everything that's happened, you know, the Burnley game already this season, they go 1 up, Burnley equalised. Burnley could have nicked it towards the end, actually. I'd have thought it'd be quite fraught there early on, unless they get an early goal.
Absolutely, I think it's a game Liverpool must win, because there's just going to be, if they get beat today, there's going to be a lot of questions, and it will be the same old. You didn't invest in the back 4, you didn't get another goalkeeper, so Liverpool have to win today.
OK, stay with us. After the break, whistles will be going up and down the country. It's time for kick-off and all the action from 3 o'clock in a couple of moments' time. Back soon.